We're Steph and Travis, Canadians who didn't know much about sailing. We didn't let that or a global pandemic stop us from living our dreams, and we've been winging it ever since. We took off from Toronto and made it to Grenada in year 1, and we've got no plans on stopping. Subscribe to join our life on the water. Thanks to our patrons who keep the dream going. Hey guys, welcome back to Sailing Jibsea. This week, we're continuing on with where we left off last week with our cruising of the beautiful British Virgin Islands, how we're doing it on the cheap and avoiding overnight mooring fees. We just dropped our anchor. As you can see, there are a bunch of mooring balls, and I believe those are day balls. When we originally checked in at immigrations, they asked us if we were going to be using any of the mooring balls. And we didn't know that there was a difference between day balls and overnight balls. So they said it was going to be $50 a week. And we're like, oh, that's pretty good actually, because we had heard that it was $30 a night. So we thought that this mooring ball permit was pretty great of a deal at $50 a week, but we figured we'd suss it out first before deciding on buying one, because I think you can buy one at the different customs offices or at the different immigrations offices if we changed our mind. So our friends bought it, and then I guess they had Googled it or whatever, and what they had bought for $50 a week was for use of the day balls. So if you want to stay in the bay, you gotta fall off the ball at night and anchor anyway. So I don't really know which balls are what, they're color coded, but we're anchoring, so it doesn't really matter to us. We're anchored in about 38 feet right now, so not too bad. And we are at Privateer Bay, which is just south of the Indians. The BVIs are truly a big kid playground for us. Not only do we enjoy seeing marine life, but one of our favorite things to do in the water is venturing into caves and diving down to rocks and reef with underwater swim-throughs. And we're learning that the BVIs have plenty of those.
Really pretty up top. This is so cool, eh?
Yeah, it's super cool. Keeping that flashlight. Another nice thing about this bay is that we're a close dinghy ride to Willie T, the legendary floating bar and restaurant. With our friends Moon Dancer on their catamaran. They moved their big boat closer to the Indians back there that you can see, and we are going to dive on them. They're an archipelago of islets here in the BVIs, and they're one of the most popular snorkeling and dive sites, so we're really excited to see all the marine life that is below the surface. And we are so close that we can just swim right there. Normally you can dinghy over, and there are little buoys right there that you can tie up to, but we are close enough.
just got back from scuba diving, which is super awesome over at the Indians. And we're gonna pick up anchor and head 3 nautical miles around the corner to Peter Island. I think we're gonna go check out a bay called Key Bay. Looks like some good snorkeling, and that's where they sunk the original Willie T floating bar. So I think it's pretty deep. That won't be a snorkel, but maybe we'll check it out. Just gonna leave this pretty spot. This is Privateer Bay. Really nice spot, and it's like settled conditions, so we got no swell wrapping around the corner. It's awesome. But we're moving things pretty quick here in the islands. We're doing like 1 night at each place, which is kind of cool because we've been sitting, for 2 months over in St. Martin, so it's awesome to get some movement and some re-anchoring all the time. And there's so many places in the BVIs. We're spending 2 weeks or here, so I'm pretty sure we can get a different anchorage every night and still have plenty left over.
Next, we're moving around the corner on Peter Island over to Dead Man's Bay, where we anchored next to the Association of Reef Keepers, a non-profit organization dedicated to environmental conservation and protection in the BVIs. We had an opportunity to watch them catch and tag sea turtles in efforts to monitor their growth, health, and to track the number of turtles coming in and out of the islands.
20 years, I'm sure you've gotten nicked by one of them.
Always come out with injuries.
Can they draw blood, or they,
Oh yeah.
I bet.
Oh, I have. The nails are really sharp. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It does.
They some wipe their old tags off. Yeah. You're right, buddy. Let's get some work done.
Dead Chest Island is uninhabited and located half a mile northeast of Peter Island. We dinghied over for a quick snorkel in the coral gardens, where there was no shortage of sea whip, coral fans, valleys, and corridors to swim through.
So where we anchored today is called Dead Man's Bay, and across the way here is a dive site called Dead Man's Chest. So we thought it would have been suiting to have a movie night over on Moondancer's boat, and we're gonna watch Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
If you're wondering about the setup, we brought this piece of PVC board and projector with us from Dock Life back in Toronto, and they've worked perfect for movie nights on Jibsea and on our friends' boats.
So we just got to Lee Bay, and right beside us over here, there's the RMS Shipwreck Rhone. It's a little rolly right now, but we're not gonna stay here all day. We're just gonna tie up, jump off the boat, and just go find it. I think it's just straight up over here.
The Royal Mail ship Rhone wrecked in 1867 while escaping a hurricane. Protocol had the 123 plus passengers tied to their beds, and as you can imagine, they didn't stand a chance when running full steam. The ship crashed into the western point of the island, breaking in half and subsequently exploding. Now it rests as a popular dive site located 15 to 65 feet below the surface. To tuck away for the night, where it's calling for some stronger winds, we're stopping at Cooper Island. It's filled with mooring balls here, but if you choose your spot carefully, you can drop anchor like we did. Another day of stronger winds, and this time we're tucking away somewhere more remote, where there's usually barely any boats around. Another lee bay, but this one's on Great Camano. A little exposed to northerlies, but a great snorkel spot we've heard, when the water's not stirred up like it is today. You just gotta be careful when anchoring here, as it's mainly rocky boulders before snugging up real close to shore. Our next stop is Virgin Gorda, which is one of the larger islands here in the BVIs, and it is home to the ever so popular baths. At the baths, there's a bunch of caverns, pools, grottos that have formed from, I believe it was molten rock. When it cooled off, it formed these large granite boulders, and it looks really cool, picturesque in there, and it's a really popular tourist destination. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it. We had some fellow cruisers tell us that when they stopped there, it was so packed because cruise ships are back in operation now, and there were just hundreds of people lined up and kind of being herded this way to walk up this way, go over there, buy a ticket, walk the other way, and it was a whole thing. And we're not really into that, so we're hoping that we can go a little earlier in the morning before cruise ships kind of all get there. Also, we've chosen the weekend. I don't know if that's any better, but our thinking was that a lot of the charter boats have to switch hands and return their boats or whatever over on the west end. So we're hoping that there will be less charter boats there, hopefully no cruise ship passengers there, and we can have the opportunity to go visit it without a sea of people. Not sure what to expect, but very looking forward to it. So let's go. Just arrived here at the baths, and we picked up one of the day mooring balls. They're the red balls. They're free to use all day apparently, so we grabbed one of those, and we are front row and center. Our friends are going to come pick us up on their dinghy, and we're going to dinghy in over to the designated rope area where everyone ties up their dinghy. It's kind of like the dinghy parking area, and then you have to swim in. Got here in good timing. Still the morning, mid-morning I would say, and we don't see any cruise ship passengers here yet. We don't see that many charter boats, so I think we've come at a good time. Crazy man. And now we are walking through what looks like the dry side of the baths, and it should loop us back around to where we started. So we thought this was like fake grass or something, but it's actually little pieces of glass. You don't want to rub your hands too hard on here because it's sharp. How cool is this place? So happy we stopped here.
Yeah, this place is awesome.
Oh, the features, the colors, and there's just so much to explore. Lost you a couple of times, didn't we?
Get all excited and climbing up things and in things.
Under things. Yeah, this place is great. I must say that couldn't have been more perfect. There were no big crowds like we had anticipated. There weren't very many charter boats. It was just a handful of us in there, relatively empty as you saw, so it was perfect and it was free. We could have probably easily spent the entire day there. There were so many nooks, crannies, caves, beaches, paths, all of that to explore, and it was just beautiful all around. But now we're back on the boat. We're going to untie from the mooring, and we're going to head over to our anchorage for the night, which is just next door on our port side. So we're gonna drop the hook there for the night and enjoy the rest of the view here. This episode was jam-packed and we hope you enjoyed it. We're trying to see as much as we can and hope that you were able to take away some helpful tips for a trip of your own here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. We're not done with the BVIs yet, and we've got more to share with you next week. We'll see you next Friday.